Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Living in the Philippines, a little bit about my experience and some advice. And one of the reasons I decided to do this video is that saw a very long post. I think it was on a Facebook expat group, and the guy said he's first time he was out of the country, the U.S., I believe, in the Philippines, and he felt a little bit like a fish out of water. The food is different, the sights, the smells, the culture, and he felt a little bit uncomfortable. He watched all the videos about what a great place it was, and even though he found the Filipinos helpful and friendly, many of them able to converse in English, he found himself a bit uncomfortable. Had not met any expats, any other foreigners, Western foreigners, and had finally found some more comfortable Western type food in the malls, but really felt a little uncomfortable with all the street food, being warned, be careful, the street food, you're from a different culture. The Filipinos have a different gut bacteria. They can handle a lot of different stuff that you might not be able to. Anyway, he was like I said, a little bit like a fish out of water. Now, if you've never traveled much in your own country, moved around, had to adapt to different areas. Cats trying to get into the garbage, get some food, some snacks there. It might be a little more of an effort to adapt in a foreign country. Now, I moved probably much more often than the average person, from different states: Minnesota, Iowa, South Dakota, Nevada, Arizona, California. And within those states, different cities within those states. And moved too often, actually. It was an expensive thing to do, to pick up and find new friends, new employment. But partly because of that experience, I found it relatively easy to adapt here, because I adapted to different states, different, every city has a little bit different culture anyway. And getting used to the different transportation and roads. And anyway, if you're new to travel and you come to a foreign country like the Philippines would be one of the easier countries to enter with for most people, most countries, a visa on arrival. You don't even have to apply ahead of time. This little entrance here, there's actually people that sometimes live underneath this bridge, and you'll see that in different parts of the Philippines. Poor people travel around, and especially near the holidays, the Christmas holidays, you'll find more and more people coming into the city begging for money and food, and living wherever they can, sleeping on sidewalks, living under bridges. Oh, I did not. I was so busy enjoying the Philippine culture. The first year and a half here, and I've been here 10 years, 3 trips, 6 different condominiums, different parts of the city, Cebu City, and I did not seek out Westerners for about a year and a half. And then I found up by Immigration at J Center Mall, I found a Western style, Australian had a Western style restaurant not so far from Immigration. And I started showing up there and meeting some foreigners, and I realized, gosh, this is kind of nice to be able to converse with people, same English language and accent, pretty much same values and history and education. Anyway, I started appreciating that. Now, if you are coming to any country, there are usually places where you can find other foreigners. And I know some people absolutely do not want to mingle with other foreigners, but there may come a time they can offer a certain amount of advice, even where to live, where not to live, different places where you can find good deals for different purchases. Their experiences can be very valuable. And yeah, there are coffee shops in the malls. There are coffee shops where foreigners hang out. There are bars where foreigners hang out, expats, Westerners in particular, that you can find. And there are groups. There's a bowling group, expat bowling group. There's a Cebu expat group that goes to a buffet once a month. We get some type of discount. There's walking, jogging groups, different things to get involved with. My next advice is to, take it slow, especially with relationships. Very easy to fall in love or fall in lust here in the Philippines. And I know several people who have fallen in lust, moved the girl in early, and finds out 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, we don't have anything in common. The English isn't very good. She doesn't. I think like 85% of my viewers are males, so forgive the. There's a tourist bus there. You can take tours different places, and anyway, be careful, because I've got subscribers, friends who've told me, yeah, she moved in, I don't know how that happened, and I can't get her to move out, type thing. Their family, their friends, their co-workers know that they have a rich foreigner. At least everybody thinks if you're a foreigner, you're rich, and they lose face if they lose their foreign boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. And yeah, I know several Western girls that also date Filipinos here, and very common to have very wide age gap, very accepted oftentimes, and you'll find that. This street here is kind of a bar area on Mango Avenue.
Kakadu Gentlemen's Club, Aqua, Novak's, Sisters Bar, Bikini Bars, Stella, Bamboozers.
I had to turn the volume down. This guy sitting here had his radio turned up real loud, and I think there was some music coming out of one of these clubs as well. And bikini bars, they make their money by you buying them expensive drinks, and then they'll sit and chat with you. But another good way to lose money.
Jane, Howling Dog 2, Tex-Mex, Mexican food. Not that I... Howling Dog 2, Breaking Point Bar. Used to be All Stars Sports Bar, then it was the Philly.
This was only about probably 8:30 at night, so yeah, a lot more action, a lot more things going on later at night, but a lot of kids and even adults holding babies will hang around these Western pubs asking for money. Very, very common here in Cebu City, different areas. You get to know where those areas are. It's actually against the law to give money to beggars, against the law. I've never seen anybody get fined or ticketed, given a citation for that type of thing. Better to give them food. Those kids back there, somebody apparently gave them some food. Years ago, I've given a little money out different places and find them come back with cigarettes, or they may buy sniffing glue. These different street kids, who knows what they're spending money on. So the next advice is money. A lot of Filipinos think if you're coming from a Western country, you've got a big pension, you're rich, compared to the vast majority of Filipinos. So there are rich Filipinos as well, and I'm using software to blur out everybody's face that I come upon here, as required by Philippines now. Their privacy rules. Um, anyway, there's so many needs here, and it's everybody needs a. I've done videos about this, about dating, friends. It's everybody has needs, including sometimes expats. I've been approached by expats. Can I borrow money? Can I borrow money? And girls and others will. I need a new phone, and boy, yeah, they've got a phone with a faces all busted up, and my mother needs medicine. They're just the stories never end. And if you can afford it, you want to help the world. Great. Know what your limits for charity are. Because I know quite a few people, number especially if they are not receiving a regular pension yet, and they've sold their house and their boat and their car, and they come over here and they're not getting a pension yet. They're in their 50s, and they spend all their money. They build the house for the girlfriend, wife. They take care of all the medical bills and help put an addition onto the parents' and relatives' houses, and they run out of money before they start getting a pension. So just know what your budget is, keep track of how much you're spending, and stay in control of your money. You will probably come across, when you're here, you will come across guys that lost it. Drinking, smoking, pretty inexpensive here, and they just have had a bad experience, whatever the cause, and they lose control of their money, finances. The money stops. After I was here 6 months plus, I didn't get my Social Security check, my pension check, and I waited a week or two. I called Social Security, and they said, "Oh, we overpaid you. Because you didn't retire quite when you said you were going to, and you aren't going to get a check for 6 months." Well, I didn't come here broke, so they said, "Oh, you can go to Manila if you want, to the embassy, and apply and have us just reduce your amount for a couple of years," something like that. And I said, "No, I'll survive." A couple of Korean restaurants over there. Mango Street, walking towards Mango Square. It used to be a big entertainment area. Now it's mostly fast food places. My other advice is to travel a bit, because when I first came here, I was going to travel, and I found Cebu City metropolitan area and Mactan Island big enough to keep me busy. And I did a lot of walking, exploring, and I didn't travel. For many months. And finally I went down and figured out how to get on a ferry. I'd never been on a ferry in my life. This is the start of Mango Square. They've got, back in this area, there's a disco. I think they're building another disco. The Social Mango is back here. They moved from IT Park because they needed that spot for their bus terminal. So they're back here. Too noisy back there for me, so I went in. They actually pat you down, make sure you don't have a weapon here, which is, I guess that's a good thing. But it is relatively easy to travel. You can rent a taxi for about $3,500 for 8 hours out of Cebu City. Go south, go to some waterfalls, go swim with the whale sharks, go north, go up to Malapascua Island, Bantayan Island, popular places, and there's other beaches and resorts along the island as well. And back out to Mango Square area, where used to all be bars. But yeah, travel, get out, travel, get on a ferry, take a plane ride someplace, go see another island. And if you're bored, it's your own fault, because even on Cebu Island, you can take a bus north or south. There's a big zoo type thing. Buffalo Brad's puts out some pretty good food. And you've got the 7-Eleven here. I think you've got Ayers Lechon, which is pork. Pretty popular. I think they've got a band up there almost every night. Used to, anyway. it's still pretty early. And on weekends, a little later at night, you can get quite a crowd of people down here. People going out to party. Be careful, the ladyboys can trick you. And yeah, but now it's, it used to be all bars through here, Japanese, Korean, more American type, and now it's mostly fast food places. Anyway, yeah, any other suggestions in the comments would be great. Used to be a Filipino bar over there. Looks like they're closed now. Anyway, we'll see you in the next video.
Maybe.